It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Center field. This one may go. And that baby's gone. Donaldson has done it again.
Yeah, 4-1, and in the end, the Toronto Blue Jays are going to get a new third baseman out of this one. Josh Donaldson is coming to the Blue Jays. 28-year-old third baseman. Last year, Donaldson, he's a big-time hitter, hit .255, 29 home runs, and 98 RBIs.
Down by Kane's feet.
It's a compliment to the intelligence of the game. So it is challenging. I think one of the advantages we have in Oakland, there's certainly been a continuity at the from a leadership standpoint, starting with myself and David Forrest. We've all been together for 20 plus years.
Brett Laurie is headed to Southside Chicago. According to the San Francisco Chronicle, the Oakland Athletics dealt their third baseman to the Chicago White Sox during the MLB winter meetings for 2 minor leaguers.
Run out of miracles yet.
The loyalty of those who don green and gold. A brand new Oakland Athletics season starts now.
With the sixth selection of the 2016 MLB Draft, the Oakland Athletics select A.J. Puck, a left-handed pitcher from the University of Florida in Gainesville, Florida.
The Oakland Athletics. Fox Sports' Ken Rosenthal tweeted Monday the Dodgers have acquired starting pitcher Rich Hill and outfielder Josh Reddick in a trade with the A's.
First pitch is driven to center. Ellsbury's back. And that baby's gone. With the left field. Davis spins around and he makes a nice catch.
Here's the 0-2 from Weber to Barreto. On the way, and Franklin hits a high drive. Deep left field down the line. Herrera back to the track, to the wall, and leaping. It's gone!
First pitch to Matt Olson is hit high in the air, deep to right, and that baby's gone. Matt Olson with a big league home run, and the A's lead 2-0.
Schumann goes to third. That's the third hit for Allen, and the Aviators are now down 15-10.
In 2. Takes and deals, and there's a line shot, base hit down the left field line. 1 run scores. Here comes Healy. He's going to score, and the A's have taken the lead thanks to Matt Chapman.
Bob Melvin, the manager of the A's, called me into his office, which we talked in his office all the time, so I didn't think anything of it when he grabbed me before the game one morning. And but the GM was sitting in there and said I was going to Washington.
Yankees get Sonny Gray, the 3 top prospects, 2 of them injured, Fowler and Caprillion. I think around baseball, you see all the experts ringing in. Most people say it's a good trade for the Yankees. Is what Sonny Gray's done in his last 6 starts. But I don't think you could really evaluate this trade for many years down the road. No. What happens to those 3 guys that you traded to Oakland? Do they become stars?
going back to the draft of 2014, it's a true story that you paid your way from the Dominican just to get looked at by a scout?
Yeah, I mean, that was my only chance, I think. So I had to make the most out of it. So that's the way my whole life has been. So I gotta keep trying to, make it to the big leagues.
Here's the 1-2 now to Caliste. Luzardo gets him with a swing and a miss on a fastball. 93 miles an hour that time, and we've seen some variation in that fastball.
I looked at the rotation. I thought at that time that Kendall Graveman was a great number one, based on how he had pitched throughout last year's season. Mangden, I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, and then he comes out gangbusters when the season started. Manaya, I thought would take a step up, but I didn't think that the rotation was good enough in spring training to compete.
Riley had Kyler Murray lined up as his next quarterback. Well, tonight the Major League Baseball draft threw a potentially huge wrinkle in that plan in a way nobody expected.
With the 9th selection of the 2018 MLB Draft, the Oakland Athletics select Kyler Murray.
And now the 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung a line down the right field line for a base hit. Reddick over to try to field up, and the ball goes to the wall. Laureano's at third. He's around third there to try to score. The throw, the dive, the tag, out at the plate. And Laureano said, let me take a look at it. Maybe he thinks he got his hand in. Right field. A comeback of epic proportions.
It's not a game, it's a rich thing.
Shot, picked up by Walker, defensive replacement, flips to Chapman. Ball game is over. The New York Yankees are moving on to the American League Division Series.
It's backing up your players, and two, sometimes the frustration's got to come out.
Yeah.
And those are usually in times when things aren't going too terribly well, and the team needs to feel it.
We're welcoming officially Jed Lowry to the New York Mets family. We've talked about increasing our run production. We've talked about adding depth to our lineup, creating versatility, and creating balance on both sides of the plate. Jed is one of those rare players that checks all of those boxes.
Better news for the A's. The A's announcing today that their slugger, Chris Davis, signing a 2-year extension that will keep him in Oakland through the 2021 season. Terms are not announced officially. Deal reportedly earns Davis $33.5 million over the next 2 seasons. I'd say this is a pretty good list, and guess what? Crush Davis is on the top. He's got the most homers, and it's actually by a lot.
Well, the only guy we haven't seen off of Al Leiter's pitching staff on the U.S. side is Oakland property A.J. Puck.
Figures out would leave a lefty for the end.
Go ahead, Vin. Oakland, you had a solid year last year, 97 wins, wild card berth. Came up a little bit short against the Yankees, but I'm still thinking you're going to be there this year. Yeah, you missed out on Kyler Murray. Well, big whoop. I wasn't very high on the guy anyway. You traded for Jurickson Profar. You signed Robbie Grossman. You signed Brian Anderson, Joaquim Soria, and Marco Estrada. In my opinion, all those guys can make an impact for you this year. Chris Davis is going to hit 247 again, but he may hit 50 bombs this year, driving 100 runs. Potential MVP candidate, if you ask me. Shomanaya underwent arthroscopic surgery on his left shoulder, but everything looks promising, and even with him missing time, I think this team is going to be very solid.
The Astros, with all of that happening tonight here.
So Canna's going to tag up. He's going to hustle home. He will score on the sacrifice fly by Jurickson Profar, and it's 20-3.
Franklin Barreto lines one to right. Nice job of hitting by Barreto. Profar comes in to score for run number 21.
Last night's big win over the A's.
Surprise hero of the game, a very big surprise, Yandy Diaz. And days after coming off the injured list, he hit 2 home runs. The Rays had 4 as a team last night.
After the game, Diaz says he's not worried at all about the media calling the Rays underdogs.
Jurickson, you get traded to the Padres this past offseason from the Oakland A's. What was your first reaction to that trade, knowing you were going to come to San Diego?
I was very happy. I'm very happy because I'm coming to a team that has a lot of familiar faces, you know, and I was very happy about it.
One of those familiar faces, General Manager A.J. Preller. Now, he actually signed you out of Curacao, so he's known you for a long time.
He's separated from their families for months, and essential personnel will be sequestered in hotels with constant COVID-19 testing as they play through a summer in the desert. There are a lot of hurdles for MLB and its Players Association to overcome in working with government and public health officials to get a baseball season going.
With the 26th pick of the 2020 MLB Draft, the Oakland Athletics select Tyler Soderstrom, a catcher from Turlock High School, Turlock, California. The Minnesota Twins have the next pick.
Tyler Soderstrom, he's the son of Steve Soderstrom, the 6th overall pick in '93 by the Giants.
Sides pitching well as we expected. Battle of a couple top 30 prospects here with Luzardo and right-hander Ariel Jurado for the Rough Riders. Runs are coming at a premium. You want to make sure you don't make a mistake. 2-2. Marte fishes on the outer half. He misses, and Luzardo's out of it. Great job by the 20-year-old to stand firm after giving up the leadoff.
The difference is, if they are in it in late July, he's wheeling and dealing.
I thought it was funny you said not big names. I mean, we seem to never know the names of the A's players until about July. Right. But we're certainly going to know them now because the team is getting better and better. The 2 Mats on the corner, of course. But when you look at this ball club, they seem to get the most out of their talent. They play 162 hard games, 60 this year, of course. And I think they have the senior manager in baseball. I think one of the best managers in baseball. He doesn't seem to ever lose his cool with his ball club.
First pitch is in right field. This is going to win it. Let's just see how far it goes. And it is caught. That's a grand slam home run to walk this thing off.
Here's his 2-2. Mazzara takes strike 3 called. And a win, a long time coming for the A's franchise that has had so much regular season success and so little in the postseason.
Altuve hits a 2-run home run, and it's 11-4 now Astros.
The payoff pitch.
That is strike 3, and the Houston Astros are heading to the American League Championship Series.
On the deal with Toronto. Why the Blue Jays for you?
Well, I think that this free agency for a lot of guys was confusing. We're trying to figure out where we fit in the market, and everything kind of came to a head a couple weeks ago. And after talking to Ross and Charlie, the manager, it's a place that I really wanted to be.
It feels like the right move on the Texas Rangers part to trade for me, and inside I feel like it's a new beginning to get right, to be what I can play up to, and I'm excited for the opportunity and happy to be here. It's not going to hit me really, Tom, in the Coliseum, to be honest with you. It's been distant. They say practice your distance right now, so it's been distance from the fans. I don't have social media.
First pitch to Soderstrom. This ball is leapt up and hit a ton out to deep right field. It is long gone. A two-run homer by Soderstrom for his 16th of the season. The second consecutive inning with a home run for Las Vegas, and all of a sudden it is now 5-0.
Oh, you know, some of the departures are obvious. Guys you'll miss: Marcus, Liam, KD especially. But you also added some interesting pieces in Moreland and Rosenthal and Elvis, you know, to your left. Do you see overall, when everything is all settled, all the dust is settled on this team, are you guys more similar as you were last year, or are you a more different team because of the changes?
We are similar in the fact that we are deep. We have right-handed and left-handed bats, maybe even more now, you know, with the addition of Moreland.
Became passionate about baseball soon after he was born.
Ever since I was, you know, pretty much walking, I had a bat and ball in my hands.
A love like that makes this moment.
The Oakland Athletics selects Zach Geloff, a third baseman from the University of Virginia.
A grand slam of sweetness.
And not Starling Marte, because they were certainly linked to Marte, but Sports Grid's very own Craig Mish breaks the news that Marte now finds himself in an Athletics uniform. What do you make of this move here from Oakland?
Yeah, nice move by the A's, and they gave up a young, good pitcher here to get him.
Seems like it's harder than the rest. And maybe it's that we haven't gone through this really since 2015 or 16. Because at least in 2017, at the end of the season, they played 500 baseball.
We're here today to announce Bob Melvin as the manager of the San Diego Padres. A very exciting day for our organization and for Padre fans. We started this process a month ago with a very clear list of attributes and characteristics we were looking for in our next manager.
We had an idea that it was going to happen, or a possibility that it was going to happen, but when it actually does, of course, it'll catch you off guard a little bit, but I fell into a really good spot.
Are you kidding me? Now you're in a rotation with two of the game's greats.
Yeah.
Atlanta and Oakland are in agreement on a trade that will send star first baseman Matt Olson to the Braves. Sources familiar with the deal tell ESPN. So he was a trade target of the Yanks and Brian Cashman, but he's headed to Atlanta.
I got to tell you what, as a fan, I'm disappointed.
Always talking about pitching and defense. Our defense just got a lot better. You know, he's one of the best first basemen I've ever seen in the big leagues, and really happy to have him. And I'm also happy for our kids that got traded. You know, when you get traded from somebody that's that good, it's also good for you. So that's what I told the guys that got traded.
Crazy day, a monumental day for the Atlanta Braves.
The Braves and A's have reached an agreement. Matt Olson goes to the World Series champions.
Really exciting day for us. Matt, thrilled to have you join the Braves.
Yeah. Okay. Matt Olson is an Atlanta area kid, grew up rooting for the Braves, and his roots are so deep to that area.
It was cool to check my locker out, see the jersey, see the number, put this on, so really excited.
The Oakland A's are known for two things: a really good player development system and trading those players away before they cost too much money. In March, Oakland traded star first baseman Matt Olson to the Atlanta Braves for a load of prospects, including 2019 9th overall pick Shea Langoliers, who ABC 10's Matt George caught up with this week in Sacramento.
I think the Oakland A's, I think of a team that just knows how to win. They know how to get it done.
And when they have the convenience of making those types of changes. In the past, they've gone with guys that they know they could rely on. You know what you're going to get when their roles came into play. But this has been a rebuild. And so in a rebuild, you can afford to go with the traditional bullpens of today, which are guys that are coming out there. They're throwing 95 plus just about every arm that you face. And that's what you're facing today in Major League Baseball.
Let's talk about the A's identity. Obviously, it's going to change from last season to this, considering the amount of turnover in players and personnel.
Oakland Athletics select Daniel Susak, a catcher from the University of Arizona. The Atlanta Braves have the next pick.
So Daniel Susak, one of really the two reigning catchers along with Parada, and now they're both off the board.
New York Yankees have acquired starter Frankie Montas and reliever Lou Trevino from the Oakland A's. That is from multiple reports, but confirmed by our Jim Bowden. Montas has a 3.18 ERA this season over 19 starts, while Trevino has recorded 10 saves out of the Oakland bullpen.
With 99 last night's stats, so I take it that the number 100 has been on your mind somewhat?
Actually, it hasn't. No, I focus more on just the day-to-day processes.
Let's go ahead and look at the biggest trade to happen so far today, and that would be Sean Murphy on the move from Oakland. It is a 3-team trade, 9 players involved. The Braves are getting yet another big catcher. And you take a look at what he's brought to the table, but I mean, he's going to be up beside d'Arnaud. This is not somebody who was lacking a catcher. They're adding even more power.
Shoot, the first thing that came to mind when I got the call was when we faced Baltimore at the end of last season, how many plays Gunnar Henderson made in that series against us. I think that kid's jersey was dirty by the end of the first inning, just top to bottom. So I'm excited. It's a young group. It's going to be a lot of fun. There's so much talent. I'm just ready to get to work because spring training is super close, and I'm eager to get down to Sarasota. I'm excited about Camden. I've always pitched well there, or at least the one time that I pitched there. I pitched well.
Said maybe pitching with a lot of traffic, but I think the fourth you got through 1, 2, 3. Was there any point where you felt like it kind of settled in a little bit?
Yeah, sort of. I mean, after that first, I think everything, even with the traffic, I felt a little more settled in.
Time is running out for the city of Oakland to solidify a deal with the A's, and that's coming straight from Major League Baseball's commissioner. What does this all mean for Las Vegas? Fox 6's Drew Andre live tonight on the Strip at a potential site of a stadium.
Well, the potential site, Jacqueline, could be where the Tropicana Resort sits, but the year will end without a deal being done in Oakland, and Commissioner Rob Manfred says A's have to find a home by the end of next year.
The renderings of a beautiful ballpark on the San Francisco Bay aren't much closer to a reality as the year comes to a close.